and the project is bringing history to life. Her objectives are to understand the purpose of stories about historical events or people, to use the storytelling skills developed in the preceding projects, to tell a story about a historical event or person, and it's 7 to 9 minutes.
Okay, the title of her speech is Taiwan 400. Welcome, Emily. Taiwan 400.
It's not aberration. I talk about politics and Taiwan history. I'm a Taiwanese and Chinese. If you ask me, is Taiwan equal to China? Is Taiwan part of China? I'm not so sure I will answer you. Perhaps listen my speech today. A 400 years history of Taiwan. You can get some clue. Before 16th centuries, only Aboriginal people lived in Taiwan. Later on, Portuguese traveled and found this beautiful island and settled down. They call it as Formosa. Formosa being beautiful island. That's why Taiwan has the name as Formosa. Then Dutch and Spanish come to live in Taiwan. Few decades later, in 1661, a Chinese pirate, Zhou Chengong,
that was cute.
then in Taiwan and kicked all these Europeans out of the island. Since then, Taiwan became part of China officially. For about 200 years, a lot of people live on the coastal province of China, immigrant to Taiwan. We call this as native Taiwanese. They speak Taiwanese and local languages. My ancestor is native Taiwanese. Japan has the interest to control Taiwan for a long time. Until end of the 19th centuries, finally, China lost the battle in the first Sino-Japanese War. China signed a contract and gave away of Taiwan to Japan. Therefore, Japan controlled Taiwan for a couple years. Japan used very harsh way to control Taiwan. However, they did a good job to develop Taiwan Island. They established very good education system, infrastructures, road, and industries. For example, my grandpa told me Japanese when I was a kid. Even my grandpa didn't have too much education. Until World War II, 1945, Japan was surrendered. United States dropped 2 atomic bombs in Japan. Japan surrendered from this battle, and the winner country decided to return Taiwan back to China. 4 years later, there was a civil war. The government led by Jiang Jieshi was defeated by Mao Zedong. Jiang Jieshi led his troops retreat in Taiwan. It occupied about 15% of the Taiwanese population. We call these people as non-native Taiwanese. They speak perfect Mandarin, but can barely speak any Taiwanese. It has been a long time. Taiwan native and non-native Taiwanese didn't get along very well. Jiang Jieshi and his son Jiang Jingguo run the Taiwan government for 40 years. They maintained Taiwan in an emergency status. They believe Taiwan should fight back to China. Mainland China is our home. Taiwan is just a temporary residency. All the people in Taiwan has very high patriotic spirit. I was taught in a school, people living in China are very poor and the government is very harsh to the people. People living in Taiwan are so lucky. We have rich government and profitable economic. And all the people in Taiwan has the obligation to rescue people living in mainland China. Until 1991, Jiang Jingbo passed away. Vice President Li Denghui became the president and continued the presidency for another 8 years. Li Denghui is the first president has native Taiwanese background. He created a lot of new policy, brought Taiwan to be more democratic status. For example, he removed the emergency rules of Taiwan. He believed Taiwan and China are two independent countries. There is no need to reunify with China. He also believed the government should have more than one political party. Everyone has a right to elect the president. Since then, all the Taiwanese love to talk about government, love to criticize the politician, especially during the president election. In 2000, Chen Shui-bian became our president. Chen Shui-bian is the first president came from different political party. Democratic Progressive Party. We call it as Green Party. This is a very aggressive and liberal political party. Chen Shui-bian tried to distinguish Taiwan culture from China. He encouraged everyone to speak Taiwanese and the local language. He used Taiwanese in his public speech. This is very different from the old days. When I was in the elementary school, if I speak Taiwanese in the school, I have to pay fine. I was only allowed to speak Taiwanese with my family. On the political side, Chen Shui-bian strongly believed Taiwan should be independent. Taiwan should be recognized globally. Taiwan should have an equal right, treated as an individual country. His aggressive attitude irritated China government. It has been a long time. It has a tense relationship between China and Taiwan during his presidency. In 2008, Ma Ying-jeou became the president. The control power shifted from the Green Party back to Blue Party again. Blue Party like to stay in a tight relationship with China. Ma Ying-jeou has a vision. China and Taiwan should stay in a closer relationship to promote the economic growth. In 2010, Taiwan and China signed a free trade agreement. This is a landmark policy. Since then, the economic growth dramatically. It has reduced and canceled hundreds of restrictions between China and Taiwan. Then the communication between two sides become much easier. As an example, a lot of my friends and families work and live in China. They can travel back and forth easily between Taiwan and China. It only takes 3 hours direct flight. Look back 400 years history. From Aborigine, Portuguese, China, Japan, native, non-native Taiwanese, shift the power between Green and Blue parties. At this moment, I don't need the government speak really loud. Taiwan need to independent, or we need to reunify with China. I just like to see this harmony and peaceful relationship continue. 2 more years, Ma Ying-jeou will finish his presidency. For the new president candidate, who can come up with creative idea, make both sides happy, promote the economic growth, then he will get my vote to be the new president.